This is Solaris Nights with your host, William Double Double. The Solaris Open continues as fresh talent from across the Inner Sphere compete for a spot to take a class ranking. Produced by Dynamo Broadcasting Company, the most trusted news in the Lyran Commonwealth.
Okay.
Kyle Morgan, you have been forewarned by your stable that members of the Capellan Confederation's local triads and tongs, specifically the Triples Triad, have been hunting members of your stable in order to put a beat down on them. Conflict has broken out across the city as rival gangs have tried to step in and stop it. Solaris investigators, local police, Lyran police, all are attempting to stop the violence. And so you find yourself chauffeured everywhere, forcibly chauffeured by your stable. They're making sure that you go everywhere you need to go, not in a nice black SUV, but in something closer to like a Lincoln Town Car made out of titanium.
Okay. This is probably something that he's
like a
used to
rolling
seeing
block.
with his family.
Yeah. And, you know, everybody keeps telling you, no, sir, nothing's wrong, you're perfectly safe. But the people in the car with you seem to have very large guns laid across their laps or in shoulder holsters. Is there anything you'd like to do in the days before your interview with William Wyndham Williamson III?
Well, for my security detail, at least, I definitely want to be very friendly with my security detail.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
I figure
they're professionals. They're friendly with you as far as people whose job it is to shoot someone trying to kill you is.
Yeah. I figure if I'm a really easy client to take care of, then they'll be less likely to take outside money to not care anymore.
Ah, yes, I see. That is an angle. So, as you arrive at your hotel room, you find that there is a small package on your bed in classic bright yellow and blue striped gift wrapping. Next to it appears to be a foot-long bar of triangle-shaped chocolate like a Toblerone.
So I assume I'm still chauffeured all the way up to my rooms.
Yep, yeah.
I'm going to do the prudent thing and ask the security detail to do a quick examination to make sure that the room is safe and that the package is not explosive.
All right. So the two of them begin taking a look at the package, waving a wand over it. One of them cracks open one end of the Toblerone-like bar and like slices a piece of it off after checking it with a chemical sniffer and then he has a quick conversation with his partner where he's like, I'm vegan. I can't. And his partner rolls her eyes and is just like tastes it and is like, it's chocolate. She hands it back to you and says, package seems safe, sir. There is a note card attached to it.
Oh, thank you for your attentiveness. And I will examine the card.
Okay. Gladiators of Apex Dragons, your rise in the Solaris Open helped lift myself out of poverty and kickstart my project. What was just a dream in the stars and a losing bet on your stable has become reality. This humble investor offers his regards. Enjoy your new accommodation and relax with the first print issue, Ice Dust. As you unwrap the package, you see the cover art of an overly cute Urban Mech R63 running away from an overly animated Centurion Mech in an urban environment as the front cover reads in bright, big, bold letters, "That time I got hit by a scorpion and reincarnated as an Urban Mech Volume 1, featuring fellow gladiator Asator as the main protagonist. The inside of this manga is signed personally by Ice Dust." Apparently, this hotel room and series of suites that you'll be staying in that has been bequeathed to you is on behalf of this artist.
Is it in some sort of like preserving container?
It is not, but the hotel will get it laminated and framed on your wall for you. They've done it recently for another gladiator.
Oh, well, if they're still practiced at it, I
Yo,
will certainly
very
elect to take them up on the service.
It is framed and placed up on the wall where you can prominently see the artist's signature. So, as you may know from having this hotel, you ablate 1 point of stress during every match from now on. Anything else you'd like to do before your meeting with William?
Well, since I started a budding friendship with Sergey Wolf, I would like to check in and see how he's doing.
Yeah, so Sergey Wolf has also become a Solaris gladiator. I know that may sound weird, but what I mean is he's become a class ranker as well in the heavy class. You go to check on him, and he has what might be the most iconic clan mech standing extremely imposingly at the foot of his dropship, a Timberwolf. You're not really sure about the configuration. It's definitely not the classic LRM-20 and lasers in the arms. And Sergey and his team have got like half of it open to the air and are pulling it apart. Not inside the dropship bay, but like in the open air. And Sergey comes over and he says, "Well, Kyle Morgan, has anyone assigned you a call sign yet? I feel like your fellow stablemate should have gotten something like that done."
Well, I heard it was a tradition amongst pilots serving in a lethal role together to assign call signs to each other. And I did talk to my stable, and I think they've awarded me the call sign of Dynamo.
Well, all right. He just looks up at his mech where the word Sharp Eye is written underneath the cylindrical cockpit of the Timberwolf.
I've certainly seen this design in a lot of footage, but I've never actually been next to one before. This is quite interesting.
Well, some have said it's the greatest mech that's ever been designed, and I would agree with those people. I'm working on converting it. These OmniMech pods are real easy to work with, but getting that kind of technology here on Solaris has been a little bit more difficult than normal. We're having to make some slight adjustments.
Well, I'm glad for any help that I've been in that process.
Well, look, what do you need? What are you here for?
Well, I've got a match that's scheduled to come up soon, and I know that there have been some interesting things in the news, and there are side effects to the pilots in my stable, and I both just wanted to come and say hello to a friend, and also just say that I don't know if that extends to friends of the stable as well.
Oh, you're looking out for me? I appreciate that. In the process, he just like draws out a enormous knife from behind his back that you didn't know that he carried on a regular basis, and he says, "You know, I killed my first man when I was 9 years old. Bandit cast, wandering around in the plains of Stranomecti. Yeah, apparently you warriors in the inner sphere, you don't really do that, huh?"
Well, I wouldn't want to take the distinction of warrior away from the people that fought on the front lines, even against your people. But as a gladiator,
I've seen you fight.
No,
you might not be a soldier, but you're a warrior.
Well, thank you.
I would make you my bondsman anytime, Kyle Morgan. Dynamo. I'm a little bit far from home. I don't know if I'm ever going to see Stranomecti again, and not really sure how welcome I am in the home clan right now. Seems to be some troubles, but
Well, with the ceasefire the way that it is, this presents you an interesting opportunity to either integrate or be better prepared to resume on the home side.
Well, I've always been a little bit more of a crusader than a warden, but it's not like I'm a Jade Falcon, so. Look, you don't have to worry about me. When it comes to inner sphere trash, I've had to deal with my, let's just say, I don't always have to call the police officers except to clean up after I'm done.
Well, that's good to hear. I'd hate to hear that something happened to you.
Yeah, we don't actually have those. It's very interesting to see such a intercast.
Police?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's been very interesting with the time that we've spent together and the time that I've spent with Seth learning about the rather significant differences in the going-ons of normal life.
Yeah, we have tech casts as security guards, but investigation is solely for military intelligence officers, the Watch. Yeah, I don't know. You guys do things differently out here. I don't know if I like it or not. Sometimes the police get mad when I leave a man half alive. They say that if I really feel threatened, I should have just eliminated him.
Well, there are plenty of people who have grown up here who also disagree with either the concept or the operation of law enforcement. So you're not alone there.
So he's been waving his knife around the whole time, and he puts it, behind his back again, sheathes it, and says, "Well, you're not wrong about that. That's for sure. You people in the inner sphere are a rebellious lot."
By our nature, yes. And that's something my family knows all too well.
Well, you know me. I'm just trying to keep my head down and integrate while I'm here and figure out what's happening next. Clan politics ain't what they used to be, that's for sure.
Mm.
All right, well, listen. Hey, thanks for stopping by and giving me a warning.
No
I
problem.
will let you know if any clansmen are coming to try to kill you.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think I'm good. I'm definitely going to comply with the instructions of my my babysitters all the way up to my match.
Okay. You find yourself... Oh, sorry.
If I wanted to do if I wanted to have
the lottery.
guests,
Yeah,
would that be a roll I make before the interview?
Yes. Let's go ahead and make that now. I'll get you some dice. You know what? We got lots of dice here. How about some clan dice? You're from the Free Worlds, right?
Yep. I can just grab these Free Worlds dice.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna grab the dice that apply most specifically to me today.
Ooh, that's terrible.
That appears to be a 3.
Which would be a 4, so I'm going to re-roll that. I'll spend my edge.
That would be a failure to extend your media influence, yes. So much worse. All right. You try to organize a lottery to allow people on Solaris to ride in your armor personnel carrier and attend the match in person, and your pull with the Solaris referees is not very good right now, and they're just like, no, not allowed, like, no. You have to fill out the paperwork to do this properly. You cannot use this move again until you level.
Okay.
Have you leveled yet?
Nope.
You'll almost certainly level this match. So
well,
probably...
depending on how it goes.
Yeah. Well, listen, failure can be rewarding in its own way.
That's true.
You're seated across from William. William is, as always, looking impressed with your business attire. And today he's wearing not exactly a suit, but like a suit jacket over top of a turtleneck sweater and fitted pants rather than his normal, like, loose trousers. And he says, "Kyle Morgan, welcome back to Solaris Nights."
It's good to be back, William. You look very sharp.
Thank you. You look sharp as always as well. A business icon. I understand things have gone very well for Ronin Industries lately, and in fact, you've had an opportunity to get your mech customized to the peak edge of technology that Ronin Industries can provide. Salvaged clan technology right off the battlefield put into your mech. Is this true?
Yes, it is.
Why don't you walk us through what we're looking at today?
So there's a couple of changes and some integrations with some of the previous projects that I've worked on in Ronin. But a lot of some of the major things that we wanted to try to integrate and learn from the clans was specifically looking to integrate some of the clan's advances with some of our own laser technology research. To that end, I will be running with some clan laser weaponry, some clan pulse lasers, in order to get some good data to contrast against some of the prototype designs that we were already working on. I'm also going to be experimenting with some software that I was exposed to somewhat recently by a new friend of mine, which has been integrated with a clan targeting computer. And something else that was very striking about some of the advances that the clans had made were some fairly interesting alterations to fusion engines. We had some extra light fusion engines that we've been running, as everyone knows, but it seems that the clan designs have found some more avenues for efficiency that make them a bit safer to operate.
In the process of replacing the fusion engine bottle, you've also had to swap out the heat sinks as well.
Yes. It was rather interesting was to see how Ronin was already working on some fairly good parallels when we were prototyping new production double heat sinks. And I'm really looking forward to comparing some of that data and seeing how we can integrate some of those differences in clan thought into the designs we were already working on.
Now, this must have cost millions of C-bills.
Yes.
My understanding is it would have cost almost as much as buying a new Marauder.
In some ways, it was fairly close. It also depends on the age of the Marauder that you're referencing to.
Interesting, interesting. Well, I guess we'll have to see whether this new test platform, a combination of clan technology and leading-edge Ronin industries, is capable of putting out the kind of performance that we are keen to see here today. Fortunately, the referees seem to have taken your new technological edge into account when they set up your opponent today. My understanding is that your stable has suffered from sabotage. Do you concur? Is this more than just a rumor being spread by Hunter McGregor?
I know that there has been some significant effort into investigating the possibility, and there has been some compelling information that has been revealed in the course of the investigation. But I would hazard to say that while things had to certainly can have an appearance one way or the other, I would not want to make a statement officially supporting one way or the other until we have a completed definitive investigation, which I assure you is ongoing.
What a non-answer. Well, allow me to pin you down with something a bit more straightforward. Your stable has recently had a contentious history regarding the new Supreme Chancellor of the Capellan Confederation, Sun Tzu Liao. Do you have any statement to support or deny the Chancellor in the same way that your fellow stablemate has also done, Cosmo, in a recent denunciation of the Chancellor?
I will say that my perspective on the change of power in the Capellan Confederation is going to be inherently different than that of my stablemate Cosmo, where his perspective is going to be colored by his opinion as a citizen and his personal experience as a citizen, which in any territory owned by a great house is going to vary by world. But I will say that as a very proud citizen of the free worlds, I am very keen to see what kind of leader he chooses to be as our neighbor. There are some very different types of leaders, and I have a feeling that he's going to be one of change.
Another fantastic non-answer from Kyle Morgan. Kyle, is there any question you will answer directly today?
Well, it depends on the questions you ask me.
What are your thoughts going into your next match?
I'm always eager to see what other pilots there are to contend with. And I just hope that my opponent is just as keen to have a fun time as I am.
I think you'll find that your opponent today is willing to have a lot of fun.
That is excellent to hear, both for myself and for the audience.
Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans, your investors, the folks at home?
I would like to make 2 announcements. First is I would like to publicly thank an author who has taken an interest in supporting members of the stable. And at this point, I will hold up my framed copy that I have brought with me. This is an excellent piece of work done by an author by the name of Ice Dust. I hope that some of you will also take the opportunity to see what this new author has to offer. I've certainly found the content to be quite interesting.
Okay. And your second announcement?
I have found that while we have certainly had some very good matches as a stable, I also think that as an effort to continue pushing Apex Dragons higher and higher, I would like to organize an expedition to see if we can't locate some additional hardware to make available to our mech warriors.
Okay, you're kicking off your patron move?
Yes.
All right, so for Patreon members at home, he is using the move Rules of Acquisition. You have 1 week. Up to 4 people can join in this expedition. When you do so, you choose a mech chassis or class, like light, medium, heavy, assault. You pay wealth +1 to buy it, so 1 more wealth than normal. You pick the mechs. Up to 4 investors pick the mechs, and Kyle Morgan will get to pick one of those mechs to go to him. The others will go to the general stable. Okay, so now that you've used it, you can't use it again until you level, although I think we've established you probably level this particular match. Probably.
Yes. Hopefully.
Is there anything else you'd like to do? I didn't know whether you wanted to try to guarantee victory, because sometimes people want to do it and then they forget until afterwards.
Nope, that's not Kyle's style.
Okay, that's true. Kyle's style is flying low.
Also, Kyle's style is to not research his opponent.
Amazing.
Because he is there to have a great time.
That's
He's
so
not
good.
Particularly concerned.
Well, that... All right, so the next day you find yourself on the battlefield. This particular battlefield is called the Northway Arena. And we'll take a closer look. Your opponent enters first. I want you to imagine the following, and I assume you've seen a game of American football before at some point in your life. I thought you might have, given the fact that you lived on the planet Earth. Entering from his mech gate first is 8 monster trucks, all painted in orange and yellow, each of which has the sword and fist of the Federated Commonwealth painted on the side of it. Following that, a line of 24 cheerleaders comes dancing out of the Met Gate as the monster trucks roll across Northway Arena in the sort of like crisscrossing intricate pattern. It's clear that they've practiced this ahead of time, splashing through the mud, going up and over hills. At some point, like, trucks will jump over each other by going over like a cliff or driving underneath a cliff. When a mech that looks a lot like a guy who is playing football hunched forward in a linebacker position charges into the arena, and we hear the traditional wrestling announcer voice goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, coming into the ring, allegedly well over 30% accuracy rate, Phil the Destroyer, Destroyer, Destroyer." He pops open the canopy of his linebacker, and he is wearing a football jersey and like cargo pants and a beer helmet. And then he says, Phil, 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 Phil. And we could see that the people on all the holographics are all cheering with him. And then he holds his fist up like this and says, silence! F, C, F, C, F, C, F, C. And then after doing that for a while with the people joining him, he puts his hand over his heart, and the theme of the Armed Forces of the Federated Commonwealth plays as a series of explosive pyrotechnics that form the flag of the Armed Forces of the Federated Commonwealth explode overhead, and 2 flags deploy out of the back of his mech. That is Phil the Destroyer. So let's take a look at his mech real quick. I forget how I do this. Oops.
Goodbye.
We probably didn't need those things. They had no purpose here. For the folks at home, I accidentally deleted a table on top of deleting the thing that was covering. Alright, so he is piloting a Clan Wolf style Linebacker Prime, a mech recently released into Clan Wolf. This thing looks like he did not receive it pristine. It looks like it has definitely had parts replaced, armor replaced. Absolutely, this was won in a fight, whether by him or by his supplier. At some point, this thing has changed hands. 2 ERPPCs, 1 in each arm, mated to a Streak, SRM-4, and LRM-5 in a rear-facing ER small laser. It is a 6'9" heavy mech, which makes it fairly fast, with a bit of a lacking of armor. But of course, with the Clan XL Fusion Engine and automatic case, a somewhat safer ride than normal. And it comes in at a cool 4 million more expensive than the Marauder 5M M1 Kyle Morgan is piloting. Kyle, what's your intro look like?
So I'm going to do my wingsuit thing again. I'm going to have the Marauder walking up with the pyrotechnics going off, and I'm going to try to have the VTOLs do like a flyover with speakers on the bottom, playing my theme song super loud. I sandstorm my way in.
All right, let's roll for initiative. Figure out which side of the maps we're coming in on. 5.
12.
Okay, well, you get to pick.
I would like to come in on this side.
West side. All right, so he is coming in on the eastern side, and he shall do so. Here. Get a look at that linebacker. All right, it's your turn to place.
I'm going to place 2, 3. I will place here.
Okay. Five. Grr.
7. That was 8. I like these new dice.
Dynamis Insidious did a good job. Probably taking it from someone else. If not, they did an amazing job. All right, so he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoop.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm going to walk forward. 1, 2, and the heavy takes an extra movement.
Yes. So heavy is 3 to move into rather than 2.
Okay, so
Yep. So
that's
light
going to
is
be
2, and then heavy is 3.
so that's going to be 1, 2.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to run. One, 2, 3. I'll jump here.
Okay. Interesting. I'm getting 20 hexes, which is in range. So I will fire 1 ERPPC and 1 LRM-15. Never mind, I can't possibly hit. You're up.
I can't shoot back.
Very well. Let's roll.
Well, let's see. We're at 20.
Yes.
I'm a 4. Range gets me to
Dynamo
8.
Broadcasting Company news
Movement
alert.
gets me to 12.
For you jumped for 3, right?
Okay, so that will give me to 13.
And then he had 2 for evasiveness.
Yes, I think that puts me at 13.
Yep.
Targeting
Okay.
computer takes me to 12. Pulse laser gets me to 10.
Okay.
I'll fire the large pulse lasers. So I will try to get my 2 10s. Nope. And no.
Close, close. But as they say, no cigar.
Indeed.
Oh wait, I didn't fire. I don't know where I'm loading my ammo. All right, I have a 10 initiative. Sorry, 11 initiative.
Oof.
I got the sun and starburst and sword.
I got an 8. So let's see. And this water is not deep enough to affect heat sinks.
If it doesn't have a level, then that's correct.
Okay.
You can't just splish splosh in it. You gotta get up to the knees.
I will jump there.
Hmm. $16 hexes, huh? Too closer. It'll be very difficult. Okay, so he just walks around for a little bit and does nothing. You are shooting first.
$16. Okay.
Still long range.
Yeah. but I don't have the 2 from his movement anymore. So that
Correct.
gets me to 8s for my pulse lasers and 10 for my LB.
That's correct. You do not get the targeting computer bonus on the LB-10X unless you fire in slug mode.
Right. So I only get a -1 for it being
Cluster.
for me firing
Yes.
cluster.
Yep.
So I guess I'll start with the pulse lasers on 8s and then the LB on a 10.
Okay.
Nope.
It's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I know this pain.
All right. So that is a complete whiff. Let me put ammo here.
You seem like the kind of man who needs jumping jack as an SPA.
I do. I don't actually have any SPAs.
Most of the gladiators don't. Just the ones who shrimp really hard. Let's see here. He's gonna fire 2 ERPPCs and an LRM-5. Nope. No. That is a hit.
No, the LRM.
Yes.
Okay.
3 missiles hit. Left leg. So the first hit of the whole match is just a very small pack of missiles sailing across the battlefield super slowly as lasers and electric particle fields fly past each other. And you hit the ground and you're running and you're like, I can make it, I can make it. And the missiles just ding, ding, ding.
I will open comms to him.
Yeah.
I appreciate an excellent introduction. Well done.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, man. Your introduction was pretty, well, for a budget, it was pretty good. You know, it's like opening a can of like beans and pouring it into a bowl of like discount cheese and warming it up and calling it nachos. It's good enough for me, bro.
Kyle's gonna have to think about that one for a second. He's like, wait, beans to nachos. Okay. Well, let's hope that you can continue that level of excitement through this fight.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I also hold you in great respect, man.
Well, I appreciate that. Let's have a great time. Time for initiative?
Yep. Oh, 9. Good, good. I like winning initiative.
Okay. Well, one you did. I'm going to jump again. I think there's been one time in total in Kyle's career where he hasn't jumped for his movement.
$14 hexes, huh? That's a pretty good range. So good, in fact, that I'm not going to move.
Okay. So I'm at medium range now for my large pulse lasers.
That sounds right to me.
So from a 4 to a 6, my jump gets me to a 9. -3 gets me back down to a 6 for those. So my LB will be hitting 2 higher than that. So 2 6s and an 8.
Okay.
Starting with pulse lasers. Oh, that's a hit. Oh, reading this sideways is going to be real disorienting.
So you can hit control and a number, and it'll lock your map so that whenever you hit shift in that number, you pop back to that orientation. That's how I do it for the shows.
Okay. Let's see. Let me set that camera real quick and set this one. And then once I've got the camera saved, how do I go to it?
Shift in that number.
Excellent. Okay. So that is, now that I'm oriented the right way, that's 10 damage to location 9, left leg.
Okay.
Another 10 damage to the left leg.
That's worrying. Still 4 armor there.
And LB will hit with a cluster of 5. So that is going to be 6 pellets.
Okay, that first one, it looks like center torso.
Yep.
I'm dragging 5 sets of dice down here for you to roll.
Okay.
You want to roll those inner sphere dice.
All right. Next is a 12. That's a cockpit shot in it.
It is, and that's super unfortunate. Oops.
Next location is 6, which is right torso.
Okay.
And then 5 is right leg.
I'm just gonna bring it oriented correct.
That's going to be super helpful.
I thought something like that might help. But for some reason, I've forgotten how to unlock this thing. All right. Sell. Oh, you've taken control of it. I was trying to turn it. I was like, why isn't it working? All right. Wow, did you just harbinger me? Okay. All right, well, you read me the numbers. You let me know what I need to take armor off of.
Okay. Let's see. We already did the right leg, so 3 and 8 is right arm and left torso.
Right arm, left torso.
Yep. I'm going to move these cluster dice over here. So.
Oh, he got double 6 on his consciousness roll, so he's not going down. Got it? Is there anything left?
I didn't commit anything else.
Okay. He needs to make a piloting skill check for taking 20 plus points of damage. He's shooting. That will unfortunately miss. Sorry, that's the 2 PPCs in the LRM again.
Okay.
That will hit. Left arm for 15.
Okay.
So, end of that phase. He needs to make a roll to stay standing. He does so. You're occasionally glancing at the holo screens that ring the arena, and you can see that about a quarter of the people watching have started crying. Others have gotten up and left the whatever drinking establishment or betting parlor that they're in. Several more people are in shock. Others are cheering. You get the feeling that maybe something is happening on those screens that isn't strictly related to your match, unless people feel very deeply about large pulse lasers and ERPPC hits.
How distracted would I be to try to flip a screen over to see what's being broadcast?
Pretty distracted, but I would love to have you make a piloting skill roll to do so.
Ooh.
No modifier, you just make piloting skill roll. It's a 4 for you.
And I'm not giving up any actions. I'm
not
just
giving
taking
up
a
any
risky
actions.
roll.
That's correct.
Okay.
If you fail,
Let's
you'll
do it.
fall, but yes.
7.
On every channel that you flip to is a notification that Prince Hans Adrian Davian of the Federated Sun suffered a fatal heart attack moments ago. The news has been sent priority HPG from the throne world of New Avalon to all planets in the Federated Commonwealth's grasp.
That's Hans Davian.
Yes. So he's been leader of the Federated Suns for over 30 years. He's basically considered one of the greatest leaders in its history. He took a nation that was barely 1/5 of the Inner Sphere and turned it into almost 2/3 of the Inner Sphere. He defeated the clans. He held back the Cretan menace. He conquered most of the Capellan Confederation. He married into the Steiner lineage and will be leaving his children a vast super nation.
I would like to open comms to my opponent.
Okay. Yes.
Phil, I don't know if you've learned this yet, but it appears that Hans Davian Steiner has fallen. Perhaps we should take 10 seconds at the very least as a moment of silence in respect for the fall of a great leader.
I'm going to tell you what happens then. His team had specifically not been telling him about this event because they know how deeply it would affect him. When you said, he's like, bro, I thought we were cool, bro. Don't even joke about that kind of stuff, man. Hans Davian, he's way too strong. He's like a bull, man. He's my idol. And then like his crew chief is talking to him and over the headset, and he's like, bro, what? Bro. So after several seconds, his mech doesn't move. And about 20 or 30 seconds after that, he just turns around and walks off the battlefield, and you win by technical default.
I would like to follow to his exit side of the arena.
Okay.
And I would like to try to coordinate going off the field with him.
Okay.
If I can.
Yes, he is in total shock. You walk side by side with his mech. At some point, he notices you're there, and he goes, Bro, Hans Davian was my idol, man. Like
he was a great man, and he accomplished many great things.
He's so
I feel
cool.
for your loss.
Bro, I don't even know, bro. Like, my whole life has been about the Federated Commonwealth. I was so fortunate to be able to represent them on this battlefield on the great stage of Class 4. Bro.
Let's dismount, get our mechs back to the mech techs, and have a drink to your fallen leader, and have a drink to the future of the Commonwealth.
Bro. And he nods.
And I have every intention of doing this.
Okay. Well, you do so. You also win, so. Yeah. As you're going through the streets, it is... so Solaris is part of the Federated Commonwealth. It's in the Lyran half of it, the Lyran Commonwealth half. And this particular arena is on the north side of the planet, but when you return to Solaris City, there is mourning in the streets. It is it's lifelong king, essentially, who has died suddenly and unexpectedly, much beloved by most of his people, leaving his wife alone, ruler of the Lyran half of the realm. It's that Alexander Hamilton song where Alexander Hamilton's son dies, and then Aaron Burr has to go walking through the streets. Yeah. No. It's the one where Aaron Burr kills Alexander Hamilton and then goes walking through the streets. That's the song we're at. Yes, that's the one we're at. Yeah, is there anything else you want to do with your match? I know it was rather unexpected, but things like this will happen over the next few episodes.
If there is a request for me to show up for a post-match interview, I will request that in honor of the events of the day, at the very least, I would request that we wait a day.
Okay, so there isn't a post-match interview, but only because every news channel is talking about the ramifications of the rise of Victor Ian Steiner Davian as the new first prince of the Federated Suns. Every channel is playing, Hans Davian, a memorial. Let's look back into the years of his life. You know what I mean? Like, even the Solaris match is slow to a halt, if only for a day.
No, I want to take this guy out. I want to get him a drink, make sure that he's with his stablemates afterwards.
So he doesn't have stablemates. He's an independent pilot.
Okay.
But he is a huge media influence, so he's represented by an agency. Their only job is managing him, which can be difficult from time to time. He's surrounded by like a coterie, a cabal. No, cabal's not a good word. He's got his boys, and his boys have their girls, and that's who takes care of him.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure that he's with his people.
Yes, he is with his people at all times. They make sure that he's always doing something.
And I also want to check and see how this has impacted the other members of the stable.
Well, I think you and I both know that is it in 2 weeks? It's Thursday the 8th. We're going to have an all-stable meeting where all pilots can show up. Thursday at 8 to talk about events and plan matches and stuff like that. So,
and he's going to be keeping an ear to the ground for anyone that was particularly loyal to the guy.
No one in the stable was Federated Sons loyal.
I know. It doesn't mean he's not going to check to see how it affects people.
Okay, Seth Ghostbear's probably going to be like, excellent. One of the ones who stood in my way to conquering Terra has suffered from his inner sphere problems. Heart disease was removed from the clan genetic code.
Step 1 in our truce plan.
Oh, I honestly can't wait to hear what Spoon comes up with for Seth. Seth is a wild man. All right, sorry this match ended so unusually. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you were on the winning edge so far to begin with. You got most of that leg off.
It started well. I don't know how it would have ended,
too.
But yeah, that was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I mean the head hit, as we know, is normally game ending.
It has been quite brutal.
Did you take? Yes, you did take 1 point of armor damage exteriorly, right?
I took 15. I took 15 to the left arm and 3 to the left leg, and that was it.
So unfortunately, it is going to cost you 3 to repair that.
Yep.
That's rough. No medical bills though, which is always a good start.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do at the end of your matches?
I want to pull the archetype thing up real quick. No, I guess not. No other moves that I have intentions of rolling right now.
Well, excellent open maneuvering. You definitely had me outplayed, and things in the final round of that, even if Phil had not surrendered, I'm pretty sure you were well on your way to victory. Excellent work, Kane Damiel. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
I'll get.
Oh, so the after battle stuff.
Yes.
So
you get a point of experience for winning.
Right. So I get one point for winning. Do I get a point for showing up, or is that something different?
No.
Okay, so I've earned a total of 1 XP for this match.
Yes.
I did not level.
That's unfortunate. The other ways to get experience points would be to guarantee victory, or I think that's it. Some of the moves that you can use for different playbooks can give you more experience, but guaranteeing victory is usually the big one. Would you like to? Oh, you can spend your week training if you'd like to.
I would like to, since I had that really fascinating software upgrade and simulator time that was done at the end of last session with Sergey, I would like to see if I could spend more time training with Sergey, since I figure he's going to be an expert in this clan tech that I'm using.
He is an expert in clan tech, and his mech is entirely about keeping long range from people. So it's similar to yours, except that every weapon is ranged. He appears to be running large lasers, ultra autocannons, and LRM-15s. And so you spend a lot of time watching him run circles around you, firing continuously as much as he can, long-range ammunition and lasers. It is hot, though. It is a hot, spicy boy. You get to put in a good work on using those large pulse lasers. Clan large pulses matched by a targeting computer to rip some armor off of him. The other thing you note is that he's getting better.
Ooh, good.
His experience level has risen since the last time you fought him.
Well, I'll make sure to compliment his hard work and thank him for allowing me to train with him. And because Kyle sees this as a friendship, he's going to offer to take him out to drink after training and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of the drinks he tries to order, well, no, he's had a lot of time to adjust here. So I feel like he chooses the bars and he only goes to bars where they make clan style drinks now.
Okay.
So he mostly
I'll try some of those out.
Yeah, he orders
Probably get carried out.
a Jade Falcon PPC. It is nasty and horrible. When it's like what's the alcohol that's been banned now? Bacardi 151. It's like Bacardi 151, but cut with something dark and nasty that turns the drink green.
Well, I will enjoy our time together. I will pretend to like his drinks while I drink my own.
Oh, he indicates to you that it's not meant to be enjoyed, it's meant to be experienced to clear your mind.
Well, it is certainly doing that.
So as he drinks a little bit of gas, he says, "Yep, it really helps you focus."
But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll train and take the opportunity to work on my budding friendship.
Yeah. So that's a second point of experience. Is that enough to level you up?
Yes, that is enough to level me.
Very well. Is this the level where you pick a new move?
Yes, it is my first level up. I get to pick one of my other moves.
Which one would you like to take? There's so many.
I think I'm going to start with, since some of these other roles have been coming up, kind of look at what it's called here quick, because eventually I'll get two of them. I think I'm going to take Sociopath.
Okay. So whenever you would roll Instinct, you can instead roll Corporate.
Yes.
I'm so good at naming moves.
As now, Kyle is now a self-diagnosed sociopath.
Look. It's not that Kyle is a sociopath.
I know.
It's just that I named the move that because I have a bad sense of humor. But the key point of the move is that you're always thinking corporate, no matter what you're doing.
Which fits with what he's been doing, especially with some of the interview things.
I agree. That also means you can use corporate to get out of fights.
Yes.
Interestingly enough.
I was thinking about that when other people are getting ambushed. And I was like, I wonder what AP would make me roll if I just got out of the car with my hands up and said, let's have a conversation. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement.
Yeah. I would still make you roll Instinct. But now you could say, I substitute corporate. Kane Damiel, thank you for joining me. Wonderful match, even though it was a strange one. I really wanted to introduce a guy from the Federated Commonwealth for this episode that crosses a very important milestone in Battletech history, the death of Prince Hans Adrian Davian. I didn't know that you would just call the guy and be like, hey man, he's dead. Well, I was going to make a big deal about it after the match. Like, he gets out, and then he's like, no!
No, I definitely was, I was definitely like, I wanted to, especially since some of us are more prone to lethal or potentially lethal matches, I want to make sure I have goodwill with my opponents whenever possible, so.
All right. Well, friends, thank you for joining me. And we'll see you next week for another round of matches. If you are watching this on Saturday of the week it was released, just remember Big Spoon's mech is still totally wrecked, and he has a match on Monday. So I'm not saying you have to, but please somebody should probably repair it because it's going to be rough for him going into a match with 3 wealth worth of damage. Have a good day.